Hello, everyone, and welcome to Writing Good Stories. I'm David Haisno, and on the other side of the virtual desk is my longtime friend and writing partner, Marlene Byrne. Hi, Marlene. How are you today?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. This series is dedicated to good stories and specifically writing good stories. Let's get started. Marlene, today's question is for you. What is it like to have a writing partner, and how does it benefit your writing?
Writing partners are tough. You have to have somebody that well, you have similarities to. You have to be able to take criticism. That part I think is really important. I think the one thing you and I do well with each other is we make our writing better. We push each other, kind of all towards the same goal. But I do think writing with a partner also is a lean in, right? So we can talk to each other and be like, is anybody going to read this book? I mean, we're very honest with each other, and that part of having a writing partner, I think, is really spectacular and makes the work so much better and makes the journey a little bit more enjoyable, to be honest.
I think there's something about, we've both written books individually and now as partners, and
Yeah.
there is something nice about knowing you don't have to do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Also, I think there's something really fun, but also I think it makes you a better writer and editor when you can take something that someone else has done and
Mhm.
plus it, or make it better
Right.
or change it again and you're right, we have to have a thick skin a little bit,
Yeah.
but you and I don't. I mean, we know each other well enough where we know we're not just going to hammer on each other's writing. I mean, we're going to be productive in those conversations,
Yeah.
and we respect each other enough, even if, we may not agree with each other, but it works out pretty well. But I think I really do like the idea of sometimes just sitting down and reading something that's already been written, but knowing
Mhm.
that I have the opportunity to contribute and help mold that
Right.
clay a little bit too.
When we talked about doing the Music Has Legs book, it was a book we wanted to write about Juan Manuel Pineda, but we didn't want him to be the main character
Mhm.
and be the character telling the story. So that was really an interesting concept. So we divided it into three people, and I think the reason that it worked so well is that we could write and we could provide sort of a different viewpoint that made our three characters, our three storytellers, if you will, very different. And I think that is one of the things that, for Music Has Legs worked really well. Sometimes it's like that chapter's got to go and we got to start over, and it's, it can be deflating. There has to be a very deep trust. And I do think that that's part of it as well. I think you and I have worked together for a long time. We have a trust. We know that if you're telling me that I wrote a chapter and it stunk, I trust you enough to know, yeah, probably did. So we got to start over. Yeah.
And I think that's the other thing, is that my eyes get opened
Right.
to things that I'm like ruts that I get in or things
Yeah.
that I fall into. And it's like, oh, this is so great that now I'm aware and I become
Right.
conscious of things that I don't want to do anymore, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And writing in general is a lonely craft. I mean, I think people have to understand that. You're sitting in front of a computer by yourself trying to craft a story that you want millions of people to read. But again, the work is done alone most of the time. Even for you and I, when we pass stuff back and forth, we pretty much worked on it by ourselves, and then we get the opportunity to talk, which is really it's really a benefit.
Well, thank you for joining us today. And thank you, Marlene, for your
Yeah,
input and your
absolutely.
insight and your expertise. And hopefully we'll catch you next time at Writing Good Stories. If you would like us to talk about something or you have a question, feel free to visit us at goodstoriespublishing.com and shoot us an email. Until next time.